you're talking a lot about moving and doing stuff like that. That's something I've always thought about. I do a lot of things right,
Yeah.
like in my life, but one thing I've always been afraid to do is move. But I
Mm.
mean, I am young. I mean, I'm 25,
Mm-hmm.
so it hasn't really came up like me moving. But like, I've been to different countries. I've been to I've been to Nicaragua and Puerto Rico, and I've been to Greece and a couple different places. But I've never like. I always feel like in the back of my head, I'm like, I just want to know what it's like to get stranded
Mm.
and restart.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of unnecessary for me, at
Mm-hmm.
some points too. It's like I have a cushy job now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm making everything work. But if the plan's not to get married, which is every day that goes by, that's only getting more apparent. Like I could really move whenever I want, so it doesn't have to be something in the forefront of my head, I guess.
I would tell you this. I actually been wanting to talk to you about this. I'll just say it on air. I'm not going to say what you do, but basically your job, I think you can digitize it through courses. I've been meaning to talk to you about this, but I've just like been
Hmm.
just taking time off and just chilling out. So, whenever you're down the road, we could talk about that. But another thing is this: remember, comfort eventually it will bite you. So you always want to be
Right.
comfortable being uncomfortable. So if your instincts are telling, like, you never want to be the guy like, oh, that's Scott. He just always stayed right there in town. Like, have what you want to do in your mind in regards to like getting out of the country or whatever, or moving. Even if you want to like move to like, I don't know, like L.A. or North Dakota or whatever, right? Canada. Do it. Like I said, death is forever, and you live one time, and so if that is a desire in your heart, I mean, you don't want to lie on your deathbed and be filled with regrets. Like, there's stuff that I did. Like, I wasn't fully ready when I came to Japan, and I wasn't fully ready when I launched Interview with the Man. And, there's just like fortune favors the bold, but fortune favors those who take action more. So, I mean, if you want to do it, man, I'm a big fan of doing it. And like, what's the worst thing that happens? Like you crash and burn, and then you just go back to Baltimore, and you just start up your dog business again, and then you're fine.
Right. Because in my life, something I've realized moving forward, just with everything, is I understand how my energy works better than I used to. Like I used to be running away from my energy, like, oh, I'm nervous, so I don't want to do that. Oh, like basically like everyone in the world, the average person.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like, I know what it takes to unleash the potential energy that is within me. Like
Yeah.
I understand, like even from stuff like you, like game is what kind of taught me that. Like I was always like, I always had a decent time with girls, but I was like, I would never ask her out because that could potentially make me feel uncomfortable. But then once you realize, once you do that, it unleashes another demon. I mean, another like source of potential energy. And I feel the same way it could be from moving out of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like the potential energy that's within me could be so great
Mm-hmm.
that that I'm just afraid that to not unleash that would be like almost a disservice to myself.
Well, I was 26. I was 1 month away from being 27 when I left. I left America on November 4th, 2012, right, to go to Tokyo. And the only regret is I wish I'd done it sooner. Um, I always say this, like, if you want to grow a redwood tree, you can't keep it in a little clay pot, right? You can't. It has to be moved. It has to transfer. And sometimes when you stay living at home, seeing the same thing and the same people, these people and these areas can limit you, right? Because it's comfortable, and then these people they limit you with their beliefs of you as well. But once you go to a new location, nobody knows who you are. You have a new reputation. You have a new you, and you can flourish in ways you didn't know before. You really have an opportunity to grow. And there will be struggles along the way, but character is developed through struggles and hardship, not comfort. Comfort actually makes you get worse. Struggle, even though it doesn't feel good, it makes you a better person.
Right. And I agree with all of that for sure. I think one of the things that made me the way that I am today, which is 25, I'm pretty disciplined and on point for a 25-year-old, but it did not come cheap. I
Mm-hmm.
got sober from drugs and alcohol when I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I went through I was a complete full-on drug addict until I was 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was addicted to drugs and I was on a bad road.
Yeah.
And like that whole thing, like going through that and then getting sober at 20, which is like a very vulnerable time in your life to get sober because you're young. And like, basically I isolated myself from everyone for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of put me where I am today. And I always think back and like, I used to think, oh, that sucks that happened to me. Like, oh no, like I had to get sober. I was a drug addict. That was terrible. And my life suffers from that. And now I think I'm like, that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how, so, I mean, I've just learned a lot from coming to your webinars and talking to other guys, bouncing stuff like this around other guys. Because like I mentioned a lot, I don't have guys to talk to about this stuff in particular. I have guys to shoot with about intellectual stuff and like stuff I'm thinking about. But when it comes to like deep meaning life stuff, I don't have that many people to talk to that I personally would give a talk to. So I appreciate you guys you being there. Congratulations on your 200.
Hey, this is Kyle from Orlando. I did have a question for you.
Okay.
So when I'm going out to the bars and things, usually I'm with a group of friends or a friend. How do you work on going to a bar by yourself and not feeling so awkward? Because waiting on friends to go kind of limits your opportunities.
Well, the reality is, the creme de la creme playboys, they always go out alone. And if you're still feeling uncomfortable going out alone, just know you need to develop your game a little bit more internally. I go out alone all the time because nobody can keep up with me game-wise. Actually, one of my buddies can, Mac in Tokyo. But no, you always have to be mentally ready to go at it alone, no matter what. Is this who I think
Johnny
it is?
Babe.
Oh, I knew it. What's up, baby? How are you, Rick?
Yeah. As far as going out by yourself, I've been doing that myself. If you have a place or a couple of places that you're used to going to, get to know like people that are usually there. So that way, when you do get there, you have someone you can hang out and talk to in the meantime. But yeah, you have to, your game has to be tight if you're going by yourself. I think the way I do it is, of course, I dress nicely, fresh haircut, some cologne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, smelling good, and it works. It works. It's awesome. You get in there, you can. I usually I'll have a drink or two in me, and kind of feel out the room.
Mm-hmm.
And once you feel out the room, you can kind of scan where you want to go as far as attack wise.
Yes.
So yeah, that's guys, and stop being afraid of getting Me Too'd and all this other nonsense. None of you guys are rich, so you don't have to worry about getting Me Too'd. And then as far as you're gonna run across girls that are a little more open to being approached. And guys, you guys learn body language. You should already know how to approach someone because you learned body language. Anyway, just wanted to, throw my 2 cents in. I heard everybody's concerns and I wanted to kind of put my 2 cents in. And
yeah.
Love all you guys. And remember, carpe diem.
Yes, sir.
You got to attack it. Seize the day.